My name's Grant Howard and I'm a coal miner in central Queensland. I've been involved in the coal mining industry for the last 40 years. I started in the industry because basically that was the only job I could get. Recently, I became a climate activist. I was at home one day and watching television, and they said that the global level of CO2 had reached 420 parts per million. And I was really shocked and surprised by that. You know, I have a pastime of doing bush regen and pulling out weeds, planting trees, and that became an amazingly challenging circumstance because around me I could see that our bush, our natural heritage, was struggling. I had to sit down and reconcile my own thoughts. You know, I was involved in an industry that was making a significant contribution to the effects of climate change. Guys at work react to that quite strongly. I have been called a hypocrite. It's been difficult. You know, I've worked with those guys for 10, 12 years. It's just that on this situation, we had a difference of opinion. I basically asked the guys, maybe I have to leave. And whilst they also agreed that we are indeed damaging our own environment, that I should stay. And indeed, it was the government's job to put a plan in place for a transition. My opinions and the protests that I'm involved in could, of course, put me at odds with my employer. But of course, I'd recognise and respect their decision if they felt that my employment wasn't suitable anymore. My strongest concern is for mine workers. They're anxious, they feel threatened, and I'm annoyed that politicians are deliberately embedding a dialogue or a thought that in the community that people like me or protesters want to close the coal industry. It's simply not true. When a young mine worker says to me, Grant, I can't do anything else, I'm glad I'm there to reassure them that these mines will see out their commercial life of 10, 20 and 30 years. A lot of the guys at work want the Adani mine to go ahead, but I don't. The country simply can't risk a new thermal coal mine. We can't wait any longer on this. We need to transition, we need to change our economy over to a low carbon, zero carbon economy.
That's a really brave stance that he's taken there, and we should stress that Grant doesn't want existing mines to shut down. He just doesn't want any new ones opening up.
Which is what the debate usually is proceeding from. That's the thing.